Welcome back. When we think of museums, we think about a large space filled with history, right? But that's not the case in southern Minnesota. Megan McPherson takes us to Minnesota's smallest museum with the tiniest exhibits.
I've been collecting green planters for 40 years.
The small things in life often make the biggest impact.
I have about 3 dozen more at home.
At least,
Yep.
Maggie Schwab believes they can.
People stop by and look at this stuff more than I imagine they did. It is an eye catcher.
But what's catching people's eyes might be hard to catch at all.
The smallest museum in Minnesota.
The smallest
On purpose.
in all of Minnesota.
Sometimes it's art, sometimes it's collections.
Standing in front of the Grand Center for the Arts in New Ulm.
The pandemic hit, and we couldn't have anybody in our gallery inside. So this was our gallery. We literally had art openings out here. We invited the public. We did Facebook Live events.
It's all hand cut.
So what sparked this little idea?
It's a fire hose box, and so is the one up in St. Paul.
A Twin Cities competitor.
Ours is a little narrower, theirs is a little deeper, theirs is wider this way, and anyway, we're smaller.
But the idea, the same.
When I take mine out, she'll put hers in.
Tiny exhibits rotated every few months. Maggie's display curated, displayed, and then carefully
Very gentle.
exchanged
And make room for Carolyn.
There it is.
for someone else's story.
It's an unusual collection.
Carolyn Marty Smith
This is going to be the centerpiece.
was born here too, but her career
I was a teacher for the government.
took her
Okay.
around the world.
Things not too high there, right?
Yep.
Taught American military children. The government moved us from place to place. Perfect.
good.
If you're going to move often, having smaller things is a better idea. And this guy's made out of jade.
Piece
Berlin Wall.
by piece.
Came down in '89 when I was there.
Another tiny exhibit telling a story
There.
far
Perfect.
bigger than its size.
There we go. I think you got a lot of life in there, Carolyn.
Megan McPherson,
I hope everybody likes it.
KARE 11 News.
Oh, these three are so cute.
If you've ever grieved someone, you know the ache of emptiness and darkness that can grow so much it takes over the space that your loved one used to hold. Boyd Hupert found a man who didn't want that and shares his journey back to the light that ended up extracting something beautiful in the process.
Dark and light
Maybe a little too far out.
are the foundation
There she goes.
of photography.
Can you see her eye?
Dark and light also define Greg Gerhardt's life.
The name of this one is December Eve.
Greg's house didn't always look like this,
High shutter speed.
with photos in the entry,
These are some of my first photos.
in the kitchen, and the
2 years ago,
hallway.
I fell in. I did lose a camera.
Photos hung
50 or 60 in here.
and photos waiting.
Sunday morning before church, I had a little time, so I made 12 of these.
Hundreds of photos filling the emptiness that opened when Greg's light went dark.
That's actually when she found out she had cancer, but always a smile. That never stopped.
Never stopped until 2021, when Greg lost his wife of 43 years. Lung cancer took Denise at 63. After which, Greg removed from his home his television.
It's what I needed to do for me. Get off the couch, out there. That was where I needed to be.
Out there, Greg turned a hobby he'd started with Denise into a passion.
That was a gift, I feel, given to me by her to keep going with this and leaving me with a sense of finding a direction.
Not the first time Greg's wife helped guide him through dark days.
She was a very good one day at a time person.
The motto Greg adopted years earlier as he battled alcoholism.
That is the one with the most meaning.
To most who see it, a pretty sunrise, till Greg hung his photo
So there's the angel.
vertically.
That was 2 weeks before she passed, so I'd look back now and we were being prepared. I could sleep out here and sleep in it.
Dark giving way to light. The foundation of photography on which Greg stands.
I call it a godsidence.
Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News,
There is something beyond.
Battle Lake.
Greg's photography has been featured by the Minnesota DNR and the Parks and Trails Council of Minnesota. This photo actually right here of a pair of greater yellow legs earned Greg an honorable mention in the 2025 Parks and Trails annual photo contest. Stick with us, we got more news and weather coming up after the break.